right, 3.2, solve two-step equations. So these are going to be basically combining, you're going to be doing either multiplication or division and addition or subtraction. So we always are going to do what's attached, directly touching the variable last. Okay, that's the last thing that we do. So I'm going to work through some of the guided practice problems, and then we'll go through and do some of the actual homework problems because there's not as many of them in the homework, so we're going to take advantage of all of them. And these ones still say to check, so we'll probably go through and do some of the checking. May not check every single one of them, but we'll do some of the checking just to get some practice with that as well. All right, so guided practice. We're going to start with number 1. We have 5x plus 9 equals 24. So we're always going to do what's touching the variable last. So we want to first do the subtraction, or well, this was addition, so we need to do subtraction to undo it. So we're going to subtract 9 first. So minus 9 on both sides. So that cancels those out and leaves you with 5x on the left equals 24 minus 9 would be what?
You
can do this if it helps.
Yes, it does. Okay.
So
15.
Yep.
This helps so much.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Confusing. If it's whatever touches the variable last, then we do division.
That's the last thing that we're going to do.
Yeah. So it's 2 steps.
So you do, it's two-step equation. So we're going to do either the, hold on. Before I say this, let me verify that it's, all the problems are written this way.
Oh, okay, guys. I get it.
Yeah. So just have to get rid of the 9.
So we'll do whatever's touching the variable last. It's always going to be the addition or subtraction first and then multiplication or division second. So now what do I have to do? I need x by itself.
You subtract, division.
Division.
So you do the 5 over 5, and then 15 over 5. And
Is it
that
3?
is 3.
Yep.
Guys.
So good, KK. Love you.
So good.
So x equals 3.
Okay.
I thought it energy.
And we can plug it back in to check it. Like I said, I may not check all of them, but 5 times 3 plus 9 equals 24. So 5 times 3 is 15, plus 9 equals 24. 15 plus 9 is 24. So 24 equals 24, so we know that it's good. All right, number 2, 4y minus 4 equals 16.
Okay. So then we're doing plus 4 on both sides.
Yep, so start out with plus 4 on both sides. So the ones on the left cancel. Keep the 4y equals 16 plus 4
20.
is 20. Now what?
Oh, we're doing division again.
Mm-hmm.
We divide 4. And then that's y equals 24. Do I go? Let's see. Oh, it's 5?
Yep.
Woohoo! I had to think like multiple. Yeah. Nice.
All right, number 3. Negative 1 equals z over 3 minus 7.
Okay.
Oh.
So you want to do the minus 7. Right.
Plus.
Plus.
Oh, plus
Okay.
Yeah,
7.
we want the opposite signs. So on the right, they're going to cancel.
And
Right.
then you're gonna
So 7 minus 1,
is 6.
6 equals z divided by 3.
And then you're gonna do the 3 on the side. So like cancel that. And then 6 times
I actually drink coffee.
All
I
right.
drink hot coffee.
So the next ones are going to look a little bit different. So number 4, it's 4W plus 2W equals 24. So our first step with one like this, we need to combine like terms. So combine things that look the same. Okay, so I have a 4W and a 2W being added together. So what would that be equal to?
That'd be a 6W squared.
Just 6W.
Just 6.
So when we're adding, we just keep the variable written one time.
Okay.
If we multiplied them, then it would be
Okay.
squared. But
Then that would just be equal to 24.
so there's two different kinds of two-step equations. So the first ones are like this, where they give you two things, but there's only one variable, so you just have to move and solve for that. The other one, technically there's still only one variable, but there's two terms that have one variable, so we have to combine those. So that's step 1. Then we have to solve for it. So how would I solve now?
Is it multiplying?
No.
With the 6W
Well, it is currently being multiplied, so how do I undo multiplication?
division?
Division.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And
My
then
brain just had to process.
that equals 4.
Yep. So then 24 divided by 6 is 4.
I get it. I think I get it. I got it, guys.
So then 8t minus 3t equals 35. So 8t minus 3t would be what?
5T.
5t equals 35. Then what?
And then we're gonna divide.
Divide 5.
Yeah, divide 5 into 35 too.
It's 7.
So then t equals 7.
Absolutely amazing.
All right, number 6. Negative 16 equals 5d minus 9d.
-40.
-40.
Yeah, so it's going to be negative, so the 9 is bigger. So negative 16 equals negative 4d. And then what?
Divide 4.
Negative 4.
Oh, -4, sorry.
So divide by negative 4 on both sides. So the negative 4s on the right cancel. So negative 16 divided by negative 4 is equal to what?
4.
Yep. So negative divided by negative, so that's positive because it's the same sign. And 16 divided by 4 is 4.
Yes. Look.
All right, so then that's all the guided practice. So we're going to move into the actual homework examples. So just doing the same thing just to get some more practice. Number 4, got 5h plus 4 equals 19.
-4 on both sides.
Yep, minus 4 on both sides first. So on the left, I have 5h equals 19 minus 4.
15.
Yes, positive.
It's positive.
Yep, because 19 is bigger, so it's positive. Then what?
Divide 5 into 15 and 5.
H equals 3.
Yep. And the instructions still say to check, so if you want to get some extra practice doing that, that's fine. The checking part is more for your sake to know that you got the problem right. So, let's see. Number 6. 2g minus 13 equals 3.
So you're gonna add the 13 on both sides. 2 on both sides. And then 16 goes into, 2 goes into 16 8 times.
Yep. G equals 8.
I just didn't remember that division is technically just multiplication. It's just
is.
wonky multiplication.
Yeah. It's like, what do I need to multiply this by to get this? Is basically what
That's-
division is.
Sometimes
And
you just have to do that.
My
I just
professors
like
in
times.
college would tell you that there is not such a thing as subtraction and there's not such a thing as division. He would say that subtraction is adding the inverse and division is multiplying by the inverse. So, in a sense, it is. Now, he was like, you should never say subtract, blah, blah, blah. He's like, you should always say add the inverse. And I was like, you know, for a math person, like a math major, yeah, sure, that makes sense. But for your typical elementary through high school student, that is so confusing.
That would
So-
be-
that until you get older.
That would
But
be
yeah, so the
really
principle is that
confusing.
division is basically multiplication and a subtraction is basically addition. It just looks different, so.
Decided to get fancy for a date.
Yeah, I was like, okay. He was so adamant about it too. He would get so mad if we would say it. Oh, whoa, that's not the problem. 11 equals 12 minus Q.
So, you wanna get rid of the plus 12. No.
So 12 currently is positive.
Yeah, I just got that.
Oh.
So you do the negative 12 on both sides, and then and then that equals -1. So yeah, just
So -1 equals negative Q. Or you can think about this as -1 Q if that helps.
yeah.
So now what do I do?
Divide by 1, and then that's just
-1.
-1.
So divide by -1 on both sides.
Yeah, and
So on the right it goes away and leaves you with Q.
then that's gonna be +1.
Yep, +1. So the negatives cancel each other on the left, and 1 divided by 1 is just 1.
I probably would have wrote, just kept it there, the first one. But
Oh,
I
yeah?
remembered.
I know, so I was like, that's a good problem because it's kind of sneaky how they put that in there
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That was
I was like, oh, I thought it was done. Yeah, but you gotta get rid of that negative.
All right, 17 equals W divided by 5 plus 13.
Oh, cute.
I'll let you answer.
Minus 13 on both. Or negative 4?
Positive.
No, positive 4.
Yep, 17 is bigger, so you keep the sign of 17.
Oh yeah, and then it is. Oh, it is multiplication. So multiply 5 on both. And instead of it equals 20.
Yep.
Good brain.
Oh,
Thank you. It's only on one though, 'cause I couldn't push the other one through.
oh, that's nice. That's such a good sign.
Yeah, it's got the bleeding.
Oh.
It's okay.
Did you recently get them done?
Yes. The hole didn't fully close after I took out my gauges. So I just, whoop.
Gotcha. All right, number 12. -6 equals Z divided by 4 minus 3.
So you wanna get +3 on both sides, and then you wanna -3.
Yep, so -6 plus 3 is -3.
And then you're gonna multiply
So I'm going to do this because it's negative. So yeah, that way you remember it's multiplying because it looks a little weird how it is.
Equals Z. I was gonna say Z equals negative.
Technically, that's also true. You can write it either way.
Yeah.
I honestly usually write my variable on the left because it just looks nicer to me. So if you wrote it as 12, or wow, hello. That's exactly what it's written as. Z equals negative 12, that's
Yeah, I'm just
also the
like,
same thing.
I just like writing it on that side.
Yeah.
Because that's.
Which is totally
that's
fine.
how,
There's
like,
absolutely nothing
that's
wrong
the,
with that.
That's the actual problem. So to have it on the.
Yeah.
Don't you only don't you have to take away the negative, or is that only for division?
Oh, it has to be on the variable.
Oh, it's been there. Okay.
Yeah, so something.
Yeah.
It could be on the numbers.
Small brain moment.
All right, this next problem's a little different. So 10 equals 2 over 7 times n plus 4.
We lost 2. Sorry.
So.
So what is the first step that I do? And then we'll talk about what to do with the second
Um,
part.
Minus 4 on both sides. It's 6.
All right, so this part is a little bit, I say it's a little bit different just because we haven't had one like this before. So we have a fraction, okay, in front. So there's a few different ways you could think about this. You could treat this as a 3-step problem where you multiply to get rid of the 7 on the bottom. So you multiply both sides by 7. And then after you do that, you could divide both sides by 2. Or, to make it still be a 2-step problem, we can multiply by 7 over 2 because that's going to cancel. So 7 and 7 cancel, 2 and 2 cancel top and bottom.
Oh.
And then you multiply over here by 7 over 2 times 6. So 2 can go into 6 how many times?
3.
So 2 cancels, so you're left with 7 times 3 equals everything over here canceled except for the n. So then 21 equals n. Would be that. I'm going to show you what I was saying as the other option. So we had 6 equals 2 over 7 times n. Okay, so another option, you could multiply both sides by 7. So 7s would cancel over here. So 7 times 6 is 42 equals 2 times n. Then we would divide both sides by 2. So 42 divided by 2 is 21 is equal to n. So either way you choose to do it would give you the same answer. But they're technically doing 2 steps, so what they want you to do is to just flip the fraction and multiply. So it's like you'd be dividing, okay, because remember when we did division of fractions, you multiply by the reciprocal, okay, because you keep, change, flip. That's essentially what they're doing here. They're taking this and saying 2 over 7 times n, so you undo multiplication by division. And so this is the flipped fraction that you're multiplying by, basically. So either way, however you think it's easier to think about it is completely fine.
I get the first one.
So, yeah. So it's just whatever is easier to think about. All right, and then the next ones are the ones where we have to combine like terms first and then solve. So 16, 2p plus 7p equals 54. So what do I do next?
You're gonna
Or first?
The 2p and 7p to equal to 9p.
9p equals 54. Then what?
Then you wanna divide. And that's gonna be p equals 6.
Yep. 54 divided by 9 is 6.
Just cut that
We do not.
Well, and remember, if you're thinking about it as multiplication, it's like 9 times what gives you 54. 9 is the one where you can do the trick, so you can put down each finger and check it. So then if you put down finger 6, 54. So.
Man, I never remember that. I seriously, wait.
Okay, wait.
So if you put down, if you put down the first finger, the answer is 9. So 9 times 1 is 9. Put down the second one. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 7. Oh, that finger's hard to put down. 63. Then 9 times 8 is 72. 9 times 9 is 81. And then 9 times 10 is 90. Now, you can't go past that with your fingers, but
It's kind of cute.
I know, isn't it crazy?
The only
so
trick
weird.
that I remembered in multiplication was 11. Because anything times 11 is just double
Just
11.
that number times itself. The one that I always get irritated with is 10 times 11. Because that's the one that's like weird.
It always gets.
I always wanted to like write it backwards. I was like, that's not right.
I wanted to write like 111.
Yeah, I know. I did that too all the time.
Or I would just always.
I eventually had to do 11 times 10. Like I had to flip it in my head so that I was like, okay, just add a 0 to the end of 11. It was so annoying. All right, 18. 36 equals 9x minus 3x.
Okay, so you're gonna do 9 times 3, 6x.
Yep.
And then divide by 6 on both sides. And then
Is it
6.
6?
Yep. 6.
6 times
6 is 30.
All right, and then the last one, number 20, 6 equals negative 7f plus 4f. This book uses some weird letters for variables. Like, why f?
That's very random.
I know, X
In
is
a
just
way, it's not random.
X is good.
And I am not, like, if you were to change them all to all be x's when you do your problems, that would be totally fine, too.
That's just the first letter I think of.
Mrs. Holloway did not like us using X,
She
actually.
didn't?
No, she
Oh yeah, she didn't.
She didn't,
Very
that
nice.
was a multiplication sign all the time.
Oh,
But
Yeah.
she always told us to write it like the little dot, so I don't know how it was confusing.
It gets confusing, yeah. Well, especially earlier in math, it really confuses people if you have x's, like, and you're solving for
That's
them.
why she
So.
didn't want us to do O or X.
Yeah.
Oh, if someone does
A lot of people don't like z because it looks like 2, but that's why I put a line through my z's.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just,
I like the way that you wrote F.
oh, thanks.
um,
Because stuff later in math, you write function, and so, like, we had to write it so many
Yeah.
times. It's like f of something, so I'm always like f, so I would just make it, like, kind of fancy. So now it's just habit. That's how I write them
We're
all.
going out to a date.
so is that's gonna be
Oh yeah.
negative, no, yes, negative 3F. I
Yes.
don't know why I said that.
3.
So the 7 was bigger, and it was negative, so that's why it's negative.
Yeah.
So then what?
Divide negative 3 on each side. And then that's going to be negative 2.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, any questions about any of those?
I don't think so. We can actually
Sweet. So then 3 through 19 odd is going to be your problems. I think tomorrow maybe what we'll do is a worksheet, and then Thursday today's only Monday. Hello. Okay, scratch that. Well, Tuesday will probably be a worksheet. Wednesday maybe we'll play the game. Thursday we'll do some review, and then on Friday we'll do a quiz because I think, well, let me see what 3.3 is because we might be able to get that in to be on the quiz beforehand. Solve multi-step equations. Oh. We might go ahead and do 3.3 tomorrow, and then that way all the equation stuff that's getting solved
Yeah.
together would all be together, because honestly, it's just this and doing something like that is like all that the next section is changing.
Okay.
It's like adding one more thing to it, so we might just go ahead and do that, and then that way all of that would be done before, since y'all seem to get it pretty good. So we'll do that tomorrow. Wednesday we can do some worksheet review. Thursday we'll play the game to get ready for the quiz on Friday, and then that way 3.1 to 3.3 is done before Thanksgiving, and then we don't have that much to do when we get back, because we only have like, I really think it's like 2 weeks of school when we come back from Thanksgiving break and exams.
Oh yeah.
No.
It's really soon. Christmas is so soon.
I